and software and whatnot, and they chose at some point, primarily during the pandemic, to move out there to basically save money on their taxes / create this like environment for their kids to be free.
I need a
to be able
producer.
to play with all these other kids and everything like that. And once we start talking to people, they're basically trying to like convert us
it's a cult.
into moving to Puerto Rico. And I'm not gonna lie, it sounded pretty tempting.
Yeah,
it sounded pretty good.
That's how they get you. Wait, so they don't live in Puerto Rico?
They do. They live
Now.
a mile or two away because like the actual premises of this shit is like extremely expensive. The actual first person who started telling us this stuff was this girl that we're having a conversation with. This girl has 10 million followers on Instagram and literally lives in like a $10 million house in Puerto Rico, and just to save money. She goes back to Miami every single weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to get fucked up, and then flies back, recovers in Puerto Rico for the rest of the week. And then she goes back again on the weekend, gets loaded, comes right back.
Is she going to die soon? So how does...
She told me she pays 4% taxes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
4%.
She'll be dead soon. But so wait, so she... that's not a life that ends well. But so she...
Crystalia, I can't really see with my glasses. My cool glasses.
What did she do?
Shirt. He has okay, so he's got a shirt that he bought from Zoomies on. Pretty cool. A 40-year-old man wearing Zoomy shirts.
She doesn't even do like actual porn. Yeah. She's just taking nudie photos. Okay. Sexy photos on OnlyFans.
It's big business.
Not even getting drilled.
I think it's funny. Crystalia and Adam 22 are like those like weird like 40-year-old guys that for some reason work at or hang out at places like Zoomies or like Hot Topic and stuff. You'll see in the mall. That's who they are. So they can pick up on the teen girls.
It's wrong.
Does she do skits?
Maybe for promotion, but not that I saw. Her Instagram feed very clean.
Yeah, you don't. Well, dude, there's enough people out there that'll pay for anything. Honestly,
I mean, apparently she's found her.
That's great.
Because her house
you know
is
what?
so
Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
What about the Wi-Fi in Puerto Rico? I've heard it's problematic.
The couple of YouTube videos that I watched about why you should or should not move to Puerto Rico for a tax haven status, Wi-Fi, very, very big one that was emphasized.
Really?
It's going to be a problem
The
for
Wi-Fi
you.
is rough. I know. I was thinking that.
It is? That's funny. I didn't know that.
It's like
I guess
in the Caribbean Sea, dude.
I'm talking to taxi drivers. They're telling me that there's like a lot of traffic jams. Shit gets shut down. Big power blackouts. All kinds of stuff like that.
Also, Adam 22 is wearing a Supreme hoodie in 2024. I'm just telling you, these guys are they're creepy. They're creeps. I'm sorry.
Well,
the problem with all those I'm sorry to interrupt, Chris. The problem with all those places too is that if the cab drivers and the hot dog vendors, if they get sick of it enough, like if enough Jake Pauls and $10 million Instagram girls come in, there's going to be a snap where they'll charge the mansions with machetes.
That is possible. There's a movement there called Go Home Gringo.
Right.
Ooh, that's the name they came up with.
It's not. You got to get there now or never. It's not. This is not. Because you will go on vacation here, and it's good, and it's nice. And when you get this is a good vacation. The idea of a good vacation is you leave the vacation and you think, man, we should move there, but you don't.
Right.
That means you had a good time. Right. Any other thing?
Also, I'm not knocking the boards in the background, but a couple of these I've seen in Zoomies. Definitely. The
vacation wasn't worth it.
As I was telling my girl, I was like, if we're still thinking that this seems like a valid idea in 6 months, then maybe it has some legs. Right. But right now, we're just kind of intoxicated by the fact. And think about it, our lifestyle there, we're staying at this hotel. The fucking beach is like directly outside of our bungalow, whatever the hell this thing's called.
Get into Chris.
An orgy 5 nights a week. That probably wouldn't have played so well on television.
So these guys, they're 6 guys. All 3 of these guys are 6 guys. And this guy is a degenerate. Adam 22 is a degenerate. He makes his lifestyle. Chris is degenerate. However, Adam 22, and possibly this guy too, well, specifically Adam 22, he's kind of comfortable with himself. He's used to he does degenerate activities every day. He's used to it. He's unfazed. But Chris D'Elia, on the other hand, he's like a recovering sex addict, and so he's trying his hardest to stay loyal to his wife, not sleep around like he used to. And so this is probably I'm surprised they're even talking like this in front of him, knowing his history. He's probably having a really hard time here.
But then again, at the time, there was the Jersey Shore.
Right.
So Chris, I guess, comes up there with a camera crew one night when we go out.
His face, I can't zoom in right now, but his face is, I'll make this a bit bigger. There you go. His face, look at his face. He's like, really, guys? You're talking about this? Like, do you even know me? Do you even know me, dude? Dude, like, I'm the fucking youngest man alive. Dude, fucking life rips. That's how he talks. Dude, I drink so much fucking Starbucks. You won't believe it. Dude. I just like I like teenagers. I don't know. Can't fucking what am I weird? Yeah. It's Crystal. That's my Crystal impression.
To the Park nightclub in downtown Sacramento.
Jesus, okay.
I'm 18 years old.
Wow.
I get in with a fake ID, and I'm told that Chris was following me around with a camera while I drank vodka and puked.
And you don't even remember.
I don't even remember.
But you don't remember because you were so drunk?
Well, let's look at some of the other photos here.
Okay.
Can we scroll?
Yeah. So, but you're not a fighter. What were you doing here?
He's a blue belt.
I'm a purple belt. Put some respect on my waist.
That's something.
You're a blue belt, right, Chris?
Yeah.
So there's me and Uriah. That was my bed.
Okay. Wow.
Let's keep scrolling here. There's some more at the nightclub. This is me getting humiliated by a friend.
So I was there this night.
You were there. You were present, Chris.
Okay.
Let's keep scrolling. There's more. This is me looking distrustfully at a woman.
Whoa, that's you. Yeah, in the middle there.
Cool hair.
That's me in the middle.
Yeah.
There's me.
There you are.
Maybe
There you are.
doing some problematic things to.
You f*** her?
I don't think I f***ed her. That's me at the beginning of the night. But Chris, you were probably in this house, like bobbing around.
Yeah.
Were you? If you were producing it, were you holding a camera?
No.
You look like a biohacker.
A biohacker?
Just like very clean jawline.
In 2008, that was kind of the look, though.
Yeah.
I cold plunge in the morning, grounding.
That kind of thing, yeah.
I'm trying to like remember a memory there. I don't, dude. How many? Also, how do you have these pictures?
Well, Chris, first of all, I wish you would have, as a producer, stepped in and intervened when people were bullying my passed out body.
Yeah, I didn't. I may, you know, maybe I was not there. Is that you?
That's me on the lawn right there.
Is that a house?
That's a home.
You covered.
I didn't pre-screen this one because when I saw Chris Leon No Jumper, I was like rubbing my hands together, like, ooh, this is too juicy. So far, not a lot of juiciness. But
Shopify helps you turn your browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to the leading commerce platforms. And you can sell more with less moment there of like, oh, this bitch is hot. She's fucked. Guys,
really?
That's money.
Wow, these guys are sex guys. Like, Chris is having a really difficult time here.
And fame that
and
I don't have. And I don't know if up till that point in my life, I had ever fucked a girl who even had like enough status to have had sex with a successful comedian. Because prior to that, I'm kind of like new on the West Coast at this point. So like celebrity is kind of hard to come by when you're living in New Hampshire.
But 2012, was Chris that big back then?
I was already on TV and stuff. Yeah, I had 2 specials, maybe, or one or 2.
Yeah, everybody's favorite TV show, Whitney. Give me a break. I remember in the early 2010s, if you went to a movie theater and you know they had the commercials in the beginning, it was non-stop ads for Whitney Cummings' old sitcom with Chris D'Elia. That's how I first heard of Chris D'Elia. That's the first time. I've never even seen that show, just those ads. You know, they have the behind the scenes where they have the actors talking about the show. That's like my first introduction to Chris D'Elia.
Damn, you got good fast, dude.
And he's like a dude too. He's like 40. He's like almost 45, and this guy just decided to get a neck tattoo. What is going on, dude? Like, I don't know, man. And you know what's really just sick about Chris D'Elia is he has. I'm not even making this up. He has the Instagram messenger, the Instagram message logo tatted on his chest. How fucking disgusting. That's like me getting a tattoo of the of Google across my chest. How fucking sick. Or the Instagram, just the actual regular Instagram logo on my chest. Um if I ever get a tattoo like that in my life, please Aaron Bushnell me.
Sorry to take away from the sex story.
It happened quick, yeah, but no, but that's hilarious. But now I would argue.
What is the worst show ever? This one or No Jumper or Whitney?
You, bro, you're that guy. It does. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, my dad's proud too of my YouTube channel. He's like a very conservative, like white
Jesselnick, I mean, this was one night. This is in one night for $20.
Yes.
It's like you go see any of us on the road. It's 40, 50, what?
5 little talking points that I've been able to assemble into a video. I exited out of that video very quickly because I was so not going for it.
I did this. I'm sorry, Chris. I saw one about Bert Kreischer, and I was like, I have to see if I can recreate this. I went to ChatGPT and said, write a negative essay about Bert Kreischer. Indistinct.
They're talking about one of those YouTubers that write. They're not talking about Red Bar, right? I have to go back. I think they're talking about the podcast cringe or that guy with the Jason Alexander profile pic that always talks shit about the comedians.
I remember Brian Callen was basically saying something that was kind of presenting himself as if he was super tough, and as if if someone said that.
Brian Callen is a fake tough guy, and is actually the worst. Brendan Schaub's not the worst. I think Brian Callen's the worst. I think Tony Hinchcliffe is worse than Brendan Schaub. Just saying.
That or did that to me, then I would go to their house and beat the shit out of them, whatever.
2017, I listened to that episode live of The Fighter and the Kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I fucking, and Joe takes it.
Who listens to The Fighter and the Kid live? You're a fucking sick person. You watch Fighter and the Kid. Like, you're like, I'm gonna wait. It's airing at 7 p.m. What a... I don't even think UFC guys like The Fighter and the Kid, do they? I don't think they do. I think they're above that. The Fighter and the Kid is like, embarrassed. Whitney, yeah, Whitney. I never watched the show. It probably was. Worst. What is the worst sitcom? I don't know. That's a hard question. What is the worst sitcom? I'm trying to think. I'll think.
Very literally, and is basically takes that as an opportunity. Yeah, and kind of like use it as an opportunity to tell Brian, like, you're not that tough.
Well, I thought that was Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen.
No, but he was there too, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But
maybe I'm misremembering.
Brian Callen is the one who basically is perceived as saying that he's so fucking tough that he wouldn't ever let this, that, or that happen. And when I brought that up, Callen immediately gave me the context of it, which is that he was trying to make a joke.
Yes.
And like Joe and other people in the room.
Brian Callen doesn't tell jokes. There's these. That's what's weird about comedy right now. There's a lot of people that just aren't comedians. Like, you don't really have to be a comedian anymore and tell jokes. You can just go through the motions. Like, most of these comedians don't even tell jokes. Like, even Joe Rogan, who's been doing comedy for like 35 years, he doesn't tell jokes ever. He just kind of goes through the motions. Chris D'Elia is kind of like, I don't know. He does tell jokes. Like, he tries to be a comedian, I guess. I've actually heard Whitney Cummings tell jokes and have banter. Actually, it's a red flag when there's a comedian in a room of comedians and they don't like banter. Like, dish out like boom, 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 jokes after joke after a joke, one joke after another. When they don't do that, it's a red flag. Like Shane Gillis does that. Mark Norman does that. There are some other Joe Rogan friends but like the ones that don't do it are like Joe. Ryan Callen doesn't do it. Brendan Schwab doesn't do it. And there's a lot of people like that. It's usually a red flag if they don't like have constant banter, constant joke. They're constantly joking. The Theo Vaughn jokes, so you kind of see who's. It doesn't matter if they're funny or not. It just matters like, oh, so this is the real comedian versus the real comedian. You kind of see who does it. I think I should do stand up. I think I should do it. It'd be a lot funnier than any of the open mics. Well, it'd be a lot fair too. I'd be a lot funnier. I have done stand up kind of a couple times, in like school, and the thing is, in a very small audience, in a classroom. The thing is that the funny thing about me is I think I'd be really good at it because I've literally been doing like not necessarily live speaking, but like I've been publicly speaking um for like I've been doing like this type of stuff, constantly talking to an audience, constantly talking for so many hours for so long that I think I would be a lot more natural at it if I took a shot at it. A lot funnier.
Didn't really get that he was doing a bit.
I can attest to that's probably what happened.
And in that moment, it came off very different. And through this like 2-minute explanation of it, I was like, oh, well, that makes way more sense than the way that this moment had been presented to me by, YouTube commentary type channels or whatever, because knowing Brian Callen or having watched him over the years, he's not out here just telling you how fucking tough he is all the time. It would be kind of out of character for him to do a bit that was centered around, look how fucking tough I am. And in that moment, I was like, wow, I've been kind of bamboozled by the people who create narratives for TikToks and YouTube videos.
Dude, there is, so one of these channels that's proliferating right now, and it's my least favorite genre on YouTube. We're going to put Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, or Andrew Scholl's face on the thumbnail.
Oh, I know a few
Say
of these,
the downfall of, there's going to be an arrow going this way, and it's going to be about why they suck. Dude,
you're watching it right now, buddy.
It's the same people that Chris was talking about who were like, have a punchline. Like you watch and they're like, Andrew Scholes is losing his mind. 1 million views. I watch it and they're like, right here on the podcast, he's ignoring this guest. He's clearly a sociopath.
I love that you
right here he talks.
I watched this one too the other day.
This is definitely going on Red Bar. Holy shit. That's definitely who they're thinking of is Red Bar.
And I had the same exact reaction, which I was just like, no. Like the narrative that you are painting here, no. And there might be some truth to some of it. There might be some truth to like Andrew over laughing or Andrew being a little too aggressive with the guests or whatever. There might be some truth to that, but you are not going to fool me into thinking that probably like the biggest fucking comedy podcast right now is falling off.
Yes.
Just because you were able to isolate.
These people live in an LA bubble. Do you hear anybody screw the internet in your real life? In real life, do you hear people like, man, did you guys watch that Andrew Schultz podcast the other day? Man, he killed it. Do you hear that in real life? I don't think any of these guys are really as big as they think they are. Actually, like everybody I know in real life knows who Joe Rogan is, but no, I don't think actually that many people like watch Joe Rogan. They just seen some clips and that's it. I don't think that many people actually know about these guys or are actually into them. Not very many.
A couple of different moments from the podcast that you're so convinced that it's over. Andrew Schultz's career is over. He's filling fucking arenas with 20,000 people, whatever it is.
His last video is gonna.
The arena, those aren't fans. See, that's the thing. Like, it's with musicians, it's with the bands. These guys are. It's like with certain popular bands, like bands like Imagine Dragons. and Foo Fighters, those bands do not. I mean, I bet there is fans out there, but they don't have they aren't bands with like fan bases really. When the shows you go to or what you see there, it's not like these bands, for example, are not like Taylor Swift or Kanye, where they have an actual fan base, an actual cult, not just a cult form, but like an actual cult around them. And where the audience of like Foo Fighters, Imagine Dragons, those aren't fans. Those are people that heard their songs on the radio and have some disposable income and money and are just going there for a date night or to take their girlfriends out. The girls taking their girlfriends out. That's what it is. It's the same with Andrew Schultz. It's the same thing. It's oh, I know Andrew Schultz from TikTok. We have disposable income. Let's see Andrew Schultz. He doesn't have fans. Andrew Schultz is not like and like Shane Gillis is a good example. Shane Gillis has a fan base. He has a cult around him. It's not like also like even though a bit smaller, he's pretty big. Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde has a fan base. Andrew Schultz and Chris D'Elia don't have a fan base. They have people that casually watch them on TikTok. That's their audience. They don't have an actual dedicated fan base that watches and analyzes everything they do. They don't. Sorry.
Get 1 million views on it.
It's over because of these 5 little.
And these guys, they're like, oh, but it has 1 million views, so it's probably good. No, it doesn't. Quantity doesn't equal quality. Like, you've lived on Earth for double my age, and you don't realize that quality does not equal quality.
Talking points that I've been able to assemble into a video. I exited out of that video very quickly because I was so not going for it.
I did this. I'm sorry, Chris. I saw one about Bert Kreischer, and I was like, I have to see if I can recreate this. I went to ChatGPT.
We were at a party, and I got so drunk that I fucking threw up on my friend's face. I threw up on Ari's face. Bert Kreischer. Bert Kreischer is not a comedian. He's a storyteller. A fake storyteller. He's not a comedian. Same as Joey Diaz. They don't tell jokes. They tell fake stories. Sorry. That's not a comedian.
GPT and said, write a negative essay about Bert Kreischer.
You might as well call Kevin Smith, even though he's written comedy films, you might as well call him a comedian. He does the same thing, but he doesn't call himself a stand-up comic. He just tells stories when he does stage shows and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're not a comedian, dude.
Sure. Indistinguishable from like 20 videos on YouTube. It was perfect. Like, I could have uploaded this with a robotic voice and it would have been the same video.
Is I shared the same birthday as Bert Kreischer, and this guy saying these YouTubers are all like they're like Chat GPT. Red Bar is not Chat GPT. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Whoa. So wait, dude. I guess my question is, why do you even click on that video?
Because they get so many views. Like that.
So you click because you're like, oh, this has 1 million views. I got to see why.
Well, no, I'm a YouTuber, so I like to see what's trending on YouTube and kind of reverse engineer it. But like that is, and I'm like me as well as Adam, as well as you. We've all been the target of YouTube hate campaigns. Sure. So like I also get like, it's like looking at a car wreck for me. I'm like, it triggers me, and I have to see what it's about. Interesting. But maybe that's why I hate that genre so much more than the average person.
Yeah, I don't click on those because of the same reason that you'll click out. I know I'll click out of them because you'll get that. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
I love good criticism, like good music criticism. You know, I'm a person who I'm ashamed to admit this, but I've been reading Pitchfork reviews of albums for like my entire adult life. Wow. I will visit the Pitchfork website because I enjoy people criticizing art.
He's a fag.
And there's been many times where I've clicked on one of these videos criticizing podcast hosts or whatever. And if I feel like they're doing a good, honest job, I mean, I love that kind of content. Sure. Yeah. But as soon as it starts to feel like, okay, you're just looking for any possible way to take a really, really popular comic or rapper or whatever and put them in the thumbnail and create a narrative that is not really that tied to reality. That's when I start to be like, okay, this genre has really gone a little too far at this point, you know?
I hate when it gets personal too. Like when some of them, like, I remember there was some about Brendan Shaw, like attack.
You're just jealous. No. Why are we jealous of Chris D'Elia and Adam 22? Do all of us want allegations that we're pedos? Do we want that? Do you want that? Do you want to have a life where, yeah, you have money, but you go walk down the street and everybody's looking at you and it's making comments because you're a fucking pedo and like people making like, do you want that life? I don't.
Him for having CTE, and I was like, dude, that's different than you saying he's not a funny comic, which I like Brendan Shaw, but that's so personal to attack the guy's mental state.
There's I mean, everybody's a real person. It's but not online. It doesn't seem to be like people it's that whole thing where it's like it's much easier to kill someone by pressing a button that will blow their house up than it is to shoot them in the face.
Sure.
Because you're disconnected from it.
At the same time, though, like the three of us,
the person still dies,
and Bert Kreischer and Brendan Shaw. I mean, that's kind of the price we pay for living like great lives.
Yeah,
it's a great life, and that's what comes with it.
That's true.
It's like the quarterback for the Patriots is going to get shit talked.
You're a comedian. I mean, yeah, I guess like they have cush life. These guys probably have cush lifestyles, but when have these guys told jokes? I haven't heard any jokes so far. Aren't these supposed to be comedians? Isn't that their job? Remember during COVID when these comedians, because they shut down all the clubs and they made these videos and tweets saying like, well, we're essential workers too. We bring joy to people. Give me a break.
Talked about it, and that's what he gets paid for.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, it is weird though. There are people that miss that somehow. They're just like, they don't get the hate. Like, every now and then somebody comes along. Like, I think about, if you take the really famous version of it, like Keanu Reeves, like nobody's ever said anything negative about him. You know what I mean? Like,
Chris
that's crazy.
D'Elia is so obsessed with Keanu Reeves. He wants to be Chris D'Elia has one on record and said, I want to be known as I want to star in action films and be known as an action guy, not a comedian. Chris D'Elia, an action star. The only action he's getting is at the middle school.
Crazy.
Who's a comic? Because we also open ourselves up in a way that Keanu doesn't.
True.
Who's like a comedian?
In my video so far, I've been telling jokes. These guys haven't told jokes. These are professionals. These guys are above me. They aren't even telling jokes. They're just crying. These guys are they're dumb.
It just is everybody loves. I'm trying to think right now.
Well, yeah.
I was going to say like Sebastian, but I still see people talking shit about like Sebastian's whenever he drops a new special, like, oh, he's gone downhill, not the same. And he's a guy who's just like universally loved and not controversial.
I like Cat Williams. Well, first of all, he's a comedian and he can't stand any of these guys. And I love Cat Williams. Sebastian special is, well, I'm making a joke because he's talking about Sebastian. Sebastian's special is so bad you can't even find it on Netflix or Tubi. Let me repeat that. Sebastian's special is so bad you can't find it on Netflix or Tubi.
Rogan obviously got all his. I'm trying to think Trevor Wallace has a pretty good reputation.
Yeah, he does. However, he's not at the level where that happens yet. I don't think
he's about to be there. He's about to be there.
Love Trevor Wallace.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
I really like him too.
Works so hard. The guy's gonna be at that level for sure. I just feel like he's right under that level that gets that hate.
Yeah,
but in terms of like narrative building, which is what this is kind of all about, it's they will build Trevor Wallace up until he gets to the point that he's really fucking big, and then these different commentators will make it their mission to find moments. And as soon as there's a crack in whatever he has going, he has one bad interview with someone where they kind of clown him or they give him a hard time and he ends up looking bad, or he has a moment on stage where he looks like a fucking asshole. And that's when they'll really start to sink their talons in. Because painting Andrew Schultz as a failure or as somebody who is so far gone that he's clearly falling off, I mean, it's just so early for you to try to make that kind of, like, honestly, 5 years from now or however, there will come a
Well, okay. So when did Andrew Schultz blow up? 2019. How long has he been doing stand-up? Probably like since 2005 or something. Okay. Let's give him a few years.
A day where Andrew Schultz starts to get replaced by other comedians or other podcasters.
It. That is fine, yeah.
But these content creators are trying to speed run that process because they realize that if they're able to paint that narrative a year before, 2 years, 3 years before it becomes something that other people are talking about, then they'll be able to be the ones getting the clicks and the views, you know, which it's kind of like a sinister process. But you also have to be aware enough as a content creator to realize this is just part of it.
Yeah, and it ultimately doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, you know, like you know, we all made it. You're all fucking, you know, you're doing your thing. It's like, you do a show that has thousands of people in it. You're like, oh, these are actually real people. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know who nobody makes. I don't think do people make the positive videos about people on YouTube? I don't.
This is really weird. People from LA, they have this weird speech pattern where they don't finish sentences. So they'll be like, so a sentence will be like, yeah, all this stuff doesn't matter. You have a lot of fans and they love what you do, and that's a good thing. LA person will be like, yeah, dude, you have a lot of like fans, and they love you, and they love what you're doing, but you know they love you. That's how they talk. It's really weird.
I don't think they do.
Yeah,
they don't get picked up in the algorithm.
You usually have to like frame it in such a way that it kind of sounds negative. Like you kind of think that it's going to be negative, and then you start to watch it, and then you sort of realize like
this is too happy.
Yeah,
wait a minute. There's
like the creepier middle-aged version of me.
Nothing negative at all being said here. Yeah, I've had that many times.
I was listening to an interview with Ty Lopez, Mr. Here in My Garage. And he's actually a pretty fascinating guy. But one of the things he said is that it's better to be a prince versus a king. Because when you're Donald Trump, you're getting indicted 6 ways till Sunday.
This guy really referenced Ty Lopez. Here in my garage, my Lamborghini. Wow. This guy watches Ty Lopez. This fucking nerd. This Silicon Valley looking nerd.
Sunday, every girl's coming after you for fucking everything. But if you are a real estate developer in New York and nobody knows his name, you're fucking crushing it.
Interesting.
If you're Trevor Wallace right now, he's making basically the same amount of money as the top guys, but he's not fucking Bert Kreischer with a face that's photoshopped to make it look like he's crying on every YouTube thumbnail.
But you know,
Bert's a king and Trevor's a prince.
You know what I've always wondered? Why do you have McDonald's? They get Supersize Me. They get campaigns against them. They got McDonald's gets more shit than anybody you could ever think of. Walmart, same thing. Why does 7-Eleven go? Basically,
there you go.
Nobody's writing hit pieces about 7-Eleven.
Is the fucking Keanu Reeves of
You ever see those fucking wings?
7-Eleven.
You ever see that pizza? There's a lot to criticize about 7-Eleven. Now, for the most part,
all hang out there. I hate the bums.
And you know what? You look at that pizza and a hot dog, and you see that in 7-Eleven, and you go like this. Whoa. It's a little bit like Keanu, dude. That's fucked
up. Like Bill and
7-Eleven is like. Have you had their spicy pizza recently? Actually, pretty good. Their pizza used to not be that great. They've actually improved on their pizza. I feel like. And it's actually, I think it's kind of good. Not gonna lie. Taquitos are good. They've been the same forever. Hot dogs are good. Yeah, 7-Eleven's actually kind of good. 7-Eleven is good. Convenience store food, they're good. What are these guys talking about? 7-Eleven's bad. Yeah, 7-Eleven is not a fucking LA French restaurant where the meal costs $1,300. Yeah, okay, it's not that. Yeah, it's not that quality. The funny thing is, I would rather go somewhere that but it's actually pretty good for convenience store food. There's a reason why they've been around forever and have Slurpees. It's longevity. Yeah, they're not the best food, but for convenience store food, for something quick, yeah, it's good. What are these guys talking about? They're so LA.
Ted, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but you want to know what too is that McDonald's and Walmart are American made. The 7-Eleven is Japanese.
Oh, you did your research.
Well, it's not
I
Indian.
figured that out over the years.
Really? 7-Eleven is Japanese? I didn't know that. You know what's funny is 7-Eleven. See, I didn't think Japanese. I kind of got like a. Yeah, it's Japanese. I guess makes sense. It's funny they said that because not too long ago, I had a thought pop in my head where like depending on the 7-Eleven you go to, not all of them, a few 7-Elevens they have like an Asian store vibe. I was like, this kind of has like I think I even thought Japanese, like this kind of has an Asian vibe. That would make sense as a Japanese company.
Okay, but also 7-Eleven is so global. You go to Thailand, oh my God, you've never seen this many 7-Elevens in your life. Every corner and in the middle.
You all know why Adam goes to Thailand. There's only one reason why you go to Thailand. It's like Patrice O'Neal had that joke where he's all like, he's like, what are you? He's like, guys that go to Thailand, not for sex, are they like? Oh, I like looking at these beautiful, dirty huts. Pedophiles go to Thailand. They're like, wow, look at these beautiful, dirty huts.
The street, you will see a 7-Eleven.
You go in a 7-Eleven and then go into another 7-Eleven.
That's two 7-Elevens connected.
Yeah.
There really is an internship program going on for young men
really
at 7-Eleven, though. We had one on our podcast. We had an honest-to-God 7-Eleven employee who was an illegal immigrant from India.
Really?
And, like, dude, the second he got here, like, 7-Eleven...
They all have illegal immigrants.
And just hooked him up. They threw him one of those jerseys they wear as uniforms, and he's ringing up Black and Milds.
Dude. Well, I mean, the 7-Eleven employees, they go through it more than anybody. They're right in the middle of the hood. They're getting tortured by these dudes. Like, people are coming in every day trying to scam them, trying to rob, trying to steal, trying to put a gun in their face, empty out the cash register. I mean, those are the untold stories that we need to tap in with.
And they had to, there was a controversy, one right up here in North Hollywood. They were having to blare classical music to keep the bums away. And they were like, what's that shark song? That like kid song about the
Baby Shark?
They were blaring Baby Shark to keep the homeless off the premises.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Because you're a dad, you know how powerful that song is.
But then you get the that would just make the clerk start shooting everybody. Fuck all. Baby Shark, come in here, I'm gonna kill mother. Dude, that's crazy.
You're torturing the bums, but then meanwhile, the guy who works there is the one who's really got the psychological trauma going on. You ever have this moment where, just as long as we're mentioning kids, it's 9:30 p.m., the flight lands from Puerto Rico, and me, my girl, and my 3-year-old daughter are all shuffling along, trying to make it out of LAX. And my kid has not slept enough at this point because she's not really sleeping on the flight and stuff. She, like a 3-year-old who hasn't got enough sleep, is like a drunk, like a wino. Like they're just saying the craziest shit
the
ever.
They're just like, what the
Especially out of
That's a whole different bit. My kid said something that kind of sounded like that word the other day. But literally, as we're shuffling out, anybody who's left LAX in recent memory, there's a giant poster of a fucking monkey
rap music around a 2-year-old. That's how weird he is.
On the wall. It's like an ad for a zoo or some shit. And as I'm walking out with my kid says, "Dad, I eat monkey poop. I ate monkey poop." And like a bunch of other people who are walking out with me are all make eye contact with me and they're laughing. Because they're parents and they kind of understand that this is what kids do. They say crazy shit. But it occurred to me in that moment, like, I might not always be so lucky. I got to teach my kid to stop talking about monkey poop.
There comes an age where they're not 3 and they say, "I ate monkey poop," and if you don't curb it before that, they think like, is this dad really feeding his kid monkey shit? So you got to make sure that she understands.
So where does that happen? Around like 4 or 5?
Yeah, and then also if people who don't have kids see you, they might think like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
I was thinking that. What if there was a fucking LA Times journalist walking alongside us, and that's his big scoop. I'm gonna do an article and tell the world about this dude feeding his kid monkey poop.
Just some single 39 overeducated Berkeley woman who works for the LA Times.
This is a pattern Adam 22 does. He feeds his kids.
I've been seeing a lot of single women in Los Angeles who you can tell are probably like never gonna have children and hate men, just like walking like border collies on leashes.
Really?
Have you seen that type? Yeah, just like the liberal, overeducated woman who's single and has a dog.
Yeah. That's mostly not a happy person. I mean, I'm sure there are happy people with that, but mostly you could be like, hey, probably not a happy person.
That's one of my favorite stereotypes to run across is just like a grown woman who's clearly prioritized her career over forming any sort of relationship with a man, never mind having kids, and they're living vicariously. Well, they've replaced the kids and everything with like watching Netflix, maybe having some sort of like radical compassion for Ukraine or Palestine on Twitter.
Definitely Palestine.
Walking a unique dog around. That's their whole personality that they've decided to use instead of getting into a relationship and having kids. And you can see it in their face how unhappy this series of life choices has made them, but they're stuck.
And by the way, fun to watch Netflix and have a dog and do whatever the fuck you want. That's fun. But you have 40 years left.
Yeah.
That is not fun.
Yeah.
You know, you're 40 and you are going to live till 85? That sucks.
Dude, like
Hey, but you know what? More power to you.
Yeah, that's fun.
There's such a skewed view of the world, that type of woman. I was just on an onboarding call for a company, and there were a bunch of other influencers who like have this brand sponsorship, and they like the host is like just one of those chippers trying to not be offensive, like, hey everybody, welcome on. We're gonna go around, ask everybody what they like to do and how their January's going.
I just went on one of those for a sales job there, dude. What's your favorite superhero? The one I went on a while back, they're like, what's your favorite superhero? Nigga, I'm fucking a grown-ass man. Don't ask me about superheroes. We need to go back where we beat up people for liking superheroes. We need to go back to that society. Right now.
Who's an astrologer gets on, she's like...
Astrologist?
Did I say astrologer?
Astrologer?
Either way, I don't know what that is.
Astrology.
Stars, I know.
Oh, she's into astrology?
Isn't it an astrologer? That's what these are called.
Yes.
The stars on
and she gets on there. She's like, oh, hello. I go by Ember. And this January, I'm just trying to come to terms with how awful of a place the world is.
That's the girl I had a crush on in high school. My high school crush. She goes by that now. I think she was in astrology. Could be wrong. She probably is in astrology.
Right now, and what we can do to correct it. And I just thought, what? Like, that's living in America in 2024. That's what you take away from what's going on, is that your life is miserable, much worse than the generations prior.
Yeah.
And you can't enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's kind of incredible.
Yeah, just go to a grocery store and get something nice to eat.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah.
Hey, do that.
Yes.
Yeah, you're actually not miserable.
Yeah.
Choose to not be miserable.
Right.
Yes.
Go eat a Entenmann's.
That is a good point, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
People, which we'll get into later, people are so miserable for no reason. Even I catch myself. Like I catch myself earlier. I was like, man, why did I buy it? I didn't even spend that much money on alcohol. I'm like, man, why did I spend money on it? Then I got snapped out of it. I'm like, bro, one, it's not much money, and two, like, get over yourself. You have the luxury to fucking spend money on this. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude.
Watch any movie you want without getting off the couch, without going to Blockbuster and being like, oh, Training Day's gone. Just buy it off iTunes for $2.99. Watch it. Hey, get awesome.
People fucking just legally watch movies. I crack it when people are like, "Oh, I pay for movies." You're a fucking retard. Pirate that shit. Pirate that shit. Watch it on Tubi. Tubi has the best movies. That's what's funny. It's Tubi's free, but it has literally the best movies. all your best classic films are on there. It's like, why do you need fucking all your foreign movies on there? All your cool indie movies are on there. Why do you need Netflix?
Acai bowl delivered by an Indian guy to your house.
Right.
And then eat the fucking acai bowl.
But I mean, the thing that's so offensive, and you hear people say this kind of shit all the time. I've heard girls say, like, I wouldn't want to have kids in 2024 because the world is so f***ed up now. Literally, when my mom was a child 70 years ago, black people had to drink out of different water fountains. You were going to be sent to Germany to fight in a well, not 70 years ago, but, you know, like a little bit further than that.
Every generation goes through that.
You're going to be sent to fight in some crazy fucking wars. Man, it's like this painting of like modern times as if it's so bad. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Dude,
if you have any kind of understanding
it's
of
going to
history.
get better and better. Dude, there's going to be people in 100 years, people get, the only thing that they're always going to be doing is getting sucked off and eating cupcakes, and they're going to be like, oh, this world's going to shit. Dude, it's awesome. It's only getting better and better, dude.
Yeah.
It's the cars are cool. The people are crazy, but you know that you get a nicer shit in your house. If you have a house, you have an apartment, you fucking nice apartment. You know, you get you can make it. You can make it. Everyone wants to be a victim.
So here's how it is right now. We've never been more miserable, and Louis C.K. had the immortal bit on this. We've never been more miserable. That's true through polling. That's how it is. People perceive race relations the worst they've ever been. Economic status, they perceive it to be the worst it's ever been. In the 50s, people always look back to as the glory day. People had less money. This is data. We had less money in the 50s in the Leave It to Beaver times, but people felt richer because there was no basis for comparison. You saw your fat neighbor who just got back from the Chrysler plant. That's all you know. You don't see Bryce Hall in Vegas putting $1 million down on a blackjack table with a smoking hot Argentinian chick next to him. That's so our perception is that we're poorer than ever, but it's not true. We're fucking richer than ever.
Yeah. Wait, Louis C.K. had a bit on that?
Right?
Yeah. Louis C.K. had a bit on that?
He's got the best bit ever. Like, everything's amazing and everybody's miserable.
When he was on the couch with the Conan?
He did it there.
He did it there, but he actually does it in his stand-up. Got it.
It's like, you're flying. You're complaining about the Wi-Fi. You're sailing through the air.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I think why should fucking always work on an airplane, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I spent $25 on 2 separate flights the other day. So I had to spend $25 on the first flight and then another $25 on the second flight.
Yeah.
Same airline, same plane.
Yep. Oh, wow.
I noticed because they gave me duct tape because there's like a divider in the first class section between me and my kids sitting right next to me. And I wanted to keep the divider down so I could maintain a line of vision on it. So they bring me a fucking roll of duct tape so I can put the pieces and keep the divider down. We get off of the plane. We go, we get some food. We get back on the plane for the second leg of the flight. I realize it's the exact same plane, and then I have to spend $25 again on Wi-Fi.
You do, bro.
Everything is the same. I want to get somebody who works for me to dispute the charges. I don't really see myself sitting on the phone with them, but
that's what they get you, dude.
That's the game. Yeah, you're met Eminem, and he has no idea that I took a shit in someone's yard before I met him.
How much FaceTime you actually go with him?
A long time. We were probably there for an hour and a half.
Just kicking it, talking about whatever?
So cool.
Any particular information you glean? Because keep in mind, I'm in the hip-hop world, and almost nobody, including like media professionals, including like the pop and rappers from Detroit, almost nobody gets FaceTime with Eminem. He does not go out in public. He does not do anything.
He likes comedians.
He really likes comedians. He likes, you know, when I did that thing, when I did the impression of him, and then he was like, he retweeted it, and then they wanted to put me on the song where he played me and I played him, which is fucking still crazy, by the way. Yeah, I showed up in the studio, and he saw me, and he started rapping my impression of him, and I was like, what a fucking trip, you know, this shit, like, this life is crazy. You know? And he was doing it, and then he sat down, we talked for an hour and a half. It was unbelievable, man. Like, I got to the point where I was like, all right, well, I don't want to keep your time, and they're like, nah, stay. So yeah, and he was talking about, you know, rapping and how he came up, and critics, and how and his tour life. Like, I mean, we